These are huge. Look how big these are. They're so huge. So, there was all kinds of confusion. So much confusion. And if you want to see about the confusion, I'll link it right here. I wasn't expecting these today. Maybe not even this year, to be perfectly honest. But here we are. This is well graded away, and I can continue to grade it. This is 2 foot deep of just wood chips, but the idea is it'll just go sink in there. And there are spouts at the bottom, and then spouts halfway up, which I was left with 2 extras so that I can add them myself. Need to do it before it rains, because otherwise you got to drain the whole dang thing to be able to do it. And so those 2 are connected and draining to open. And then there is a third one, but they didn't connect it yet, and I'm really glad that it's on hold to not be connected yet. There are wintertime disconnects, I guess they're considering this, but I actually think I'm going to leave them half full in wintertime because we thaw so often, and the water will be very useful during that period of time. So I'll probably just leave this draining away at this level on all of them during the winter so that I can then tap the bottom. Now they actually hooked this up on this side, and I think I'd rather have it on the other side, but again, I have all the little bits and bobs. Oh, maybe not all the bits and bobs. The little plugs, I think, went with them or something, but I could trade the plug on that side for this side, and that'd be fine. And they gave me 2 extra spouts, so totally well covered here. And just to be able to run a hose off the bottom, this is like a water can height spout there. And then the top is like this, but this one's not hooked up yet, as you can see. And that's because this side of the house being poorly drained is the reason that the corner of my foundation cracked in 2010. So about a decade ago. And really nervous about having this here if it doesn't have overflow that not only clears this whole side, but also needs to clear and not just fill up the window well there, because that window well is kind of like a water catch and sink point, which is having that against the house is not really desirable. So we need to make sure that there's enough hose, and they needed a third diverter spout. So what they're gonna do is they'll come back and do that whenever they're able. And I actually think that in the long run I might get a cable cover here or somewhere and have the drainage go across the sidewalk eventually instead, so that it's farther away from the house. Maybe even run it down my little ditch there and have it sink into the end, because once it's enough to go around the corner, it'll be enough to do whatever, and that'll help even more. So yeah, but if this ends up being a flood risk for the house, then instead I can just let it fill up and then come out, like open it during a storm until it's full, close it before it overflows, and then just have it. Because they do have the diverters set up for me. Oh, I can't really show you this one because my house number's right next to it. Let me see if I can just put my hand over. Yeah, right here. So this one goes around the corner, and they brought this, they call it lime. I think it's gonna cement down. And then do you want to see one other thing? What are Stampede variety sunchokes like. This is more of a normal shape that they take on. They're very lumpy, hard to clean, but they can get more smooth. These are actually better formed ones than I've had in the past, and I honestly think that's because I fertilized real good last year. And instead of getting all deformed and crazy, they actually grew good bulbs. So I read that you can completely avoid the, yeah, here's a bunch more. I heard you can completely avoid the gassiness of them by fermenting them first. So I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to really try to make sure that these aren't left, because they could root, and I really have done such a good job of containing them. So I didn't have to harvest my sunchokes, but also it looks like my sunchoke patch space has gotten quite a lot smaller. But on a third thought, if I ran some rope through here, I don't know, that's probably gonna lean it too much, I don't know. But it could help anchor them away from the sidewalk, because I always run into that difficulty of, like, they're just taking over. It's a little bit nuts. So yeah, I think I'll dig through here, because this was just where they decided to walk. I didn't come out until I woke up to the tamper leveling all of this for me. And I was like, why? What is the at first I assumed someone was having construction done nearby, and then I was like, but it sounds like it's on my house. And, you know, probably took me about 20 minutes to realize that there were people outside doing work on my house, because I was only expecting a percolation guy. We were all very confused. Check out that video that I tagged at the beginning, and I will add it to the closing screen at the end so you'll be able to see it. But it was it's a fun morning adventure, for sure. But I have rain barrels, and that's exciting. I don't know when it's next gonna rain. I think it's supposed to be dry all week, but soon, very soon. Yeah, that'd be better on this side for my thought anyway. I think it'd be better on that side. Yeah. So exciting. So exciting. So yes, it's a beautiful day. There's not a cloud in the sky. We've seen a bunch of really massive low-flying planes today, and I don't know why. What is going on, Pittsburgh? But hey, here we are. Thank you so much for visiting the cliffside today. There's going to be lots more to come today, because not only was I planning on doing a bunch of videos as a, you know, support system for everybody and for myself for the first Tuesday in November down here in the US, but I also ended up waking up a lot earlier than planned, because I didn't go to sleep till 2, and I was up before 9, because I think they showed up at early o'clock, 8, but I was expecting to sleep until at least noon. What can you do? So yeah, that's exciting. That one's not engaged yet, but I feel confident that we have figured out how to safely engage it. Everything's super level. It's all looking good. All right, well, thank you so much for visiting the cliffside, and I'll be back real soon in the next one. Please do take care. This has been Permaculture. Thanks so much. Bye.